Hey, listen, Kreskin, you're talking about Canada. So you made your mark in Canada. I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
I want to talk about our my fellow Canadian here, Justin Bieber here, because you have some theories as to his monkey antics here. That he's on a dark road.
This is my statement to Justin. You need to understand that this is the nature of the business. All the most successful people who've made their career a lifelong success are aware of this. But the amount of people who've made their career a lifelong success, whether they had one hit record or one successful movie or one act, the amount that have made it successful is much, much smaller. Unless you get the right people in place who will listen to you and maybe whack on the ass when you need to. Right now, you're talented, but the breath you're giving is one of a spoiled brat. And I perform in colleges. I've done over 1,000 university shows. I was in the University of Minnesota, Manitoba,
Right.
not long ago.
Right.
But anyway, that's not the point. I hear feedback, and I know this is. They don't have to tell me this what's going on because they hear resentment after. Unless you do something, unless Justin, you do something. Hear me, because I have no axe to grind. I don't write a tacky gossip column. Unless you do something, I predict 5 years from now, if someone brings up the name Justin Bieber, the response of those who hear the name will be ... Who?
Oh, you think he'll be forgotten?
That could easily happen.
So is there? And listen, in your
And Chris, understand this: the forgetting is often created by the person who's forgotten. You hear what I'm saying?
Of course. But
Because if you stand up, I couldn't even conceive of doing this when I was 14 years old performing, keeping audiences waiting 2 hours.
of course not. Outrageous.
It
But
really is not.
that
and Chris, and yet if he listens to what I'm saying,
yes.
there is hope there, but nobody else can do it but him.
Of course not. But in you're giving your words of wisdom and warning to Justin right now publicly. But in your estimation, you've attributed his the road he's on to that of Wacko Jacko himself. Do you think there's a way for him to pull this back? Can he pull this out of the fire?
You want me to be honest with you, Chris?
I want honesty, Kreskin.
Yeah.
Dead honest.
Listen, I want you to know something, Chris, and people who know me, I'm not a negative person. You very rarely hear it, but this is serious because this is something, you understand. You need to present this fact also. He can be a model for young people, and he's got to realize that damn responsibility. He's got to be a model for people. I mean, I've been performing all my life and with incredible schedules, but I was performing when I was in my teens and 20s, and my audiences were college audiences, and I realized I had a responsibility to them. Not that they were going to become a mentalist, but sure, they might be a magician or do tricks and so on, but also my attitude and my reflection on life is such. He's put the majority of odds against himself at this point.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say.
Now, what about?
I don't want anyone to think that I'm not a negative person.
Of course.
But I'm hearing so, and I'm going to tell you something. He needs to listen. For now, musicians in the industry, to now express themselves. If I told you what musicians, they express themselves in print about him, but if I told you what musicians say to me personally, they're angry because they don't feel a performer has the right to treat the people that are creating their career and making them successful in this way. And he does not seem to understand this because, Chris, and my degree is in psychology, but it means nothing because my career was based not on what I learned in college. I was performing already professionally. But one thing very, very significantly, and his people, and people need to hear, when have you heard him come forward and make a major apology?
Never.
That's all I'm going to say. The President of the United States, and don't anyone misunderstand, nobody knows my political position one way or the other. At least he's come on and made he did it 2 days ago. My God, that shows a feeling towards those around you.
Of course. But now listen, Kreskin, you as an animal lover, never mind the fate of Justin Bieber. What about this poor monkey?
Oh, this is. I hope the people I've done commercials for in Canada, because they know who they are for the animal rights groups and so forth. I hope that they will look into this, because I would like to get messages to them, because it would show they're in a position to contact the authorities and what have you, because a lot of them work on a larger and have a larger organization. Some attention needs to be given to this, because it's heartbreaking. I can't. Can I be honest with you? If I were not traveling in this, and everybody knows this, God forbid I went. I mean, not God forbid, but I went to an animal place where a lot of lost animals. You would see a house here with 30 animals in them. I'm not joking. So don't approach me. Don't bring any animals here, Chris, or I'm in trouble.
Okay, you got it. No animals. I promise you that.
Chris, I want you to make sure to do something before I hang up. I want to make sure this also.
Yes.
That I have your address and so forth. You could let me know a copy of what's going on, because I want to mention this on my webpage, because it'll be read all over the world, and I'll refer them to you.
Right.
I want to keep in touch with you. If a story breaks or there's a further something that comes about later on, you can always call here, and I will get back to you no matter where I am, Chris.
Kreskin, I'm honored that you're giving me that permission to be able to contact the amazing Kreskin anytime I feel like it. I love this.
I mean this here, Chris, because you have no idea how I feel, and can I put my secretary on with you so I have certain information and you have it as well?
Absolutely. Transfer me over to that young lady, and I will give her all the information she needs so that our bond will be irreversibly forged.
And Chris, in the spirit of broadcasting,
yes,
no matter what our form is, or
yes,
the newspapers, what have you, I'm not going to say goodbye to you.
Okay.
Let's just say in the spirit of broadcasting, to be continued. Okay, Chris?
All right. And on that note, good night and good luck, sir.
Hold on. Yes. Hold on, Chris. Now, hold on.
Okay.
Carol, I want you to pick this up, please. Pick up the phone.